You're fine.
Alright, yeah, we're back underway. Sorry for the little moment there, but I think everything should be fixed now for the race, which is pretty good, I would say.
Yeah, it's interesting. We've got, as you'd expect, everyone 11th downwards on the mediums, but except Nathan, who is going to go on the softs, which is it's an interesting choice. I wouldn't necessarily say it's the best. The only thing I want to say before this race gets going is how disappointed I am that all the teams are basically the same
Oh,
colours.
yeah, this game is great. Alright, yeah, this time I won't restart, but the thing popped up again on my screen. Oh no,
We
wait,
have a
that's my bad. I was looking at the wrong stream. Alright, now, because it still showed up the old one. Alright, Formation Lab quickly checking the tires. Also enabling everything needed here. Just so you can see. Nathan going for the softs, pretty interesting move. On P15. Starting at the back. But I mean, the tires really do not make a big difference here. In the end. I mean, the tires are pretty much equal. No matter when you pit or when you go for them. Of course the softs will be a little bit better, but last week there also was pretty much no difference in between them for most of the race, so yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what's gonna happen here. Of course, Relentless currently trailing QleenVigor by 19 points, fighting for the win of the first QVR Invitational. And one thing also to mention, IFR and TTG also only 7 points apart.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's going to be interesting. It's going to be very interesting to see how the relentless guys at the back can conduct themselves because they're behind Drop here and Game Boys at the moment. So that's going to be big for their title ambitions.
Yeah, the drivers are now lined up on the grid, and we'll have the 5 lights coming on now. 4 lights are on, 5 lights are on, and the final round is underway, and it looks like Noisy had a pretty decent start, but it looks like Kuhn had a even better start from behind, but looks like, even Dressy had a good start. Diving down the inside and he spins around. Noisy. He goes down into 15th place. That was a terrible start for him, as QVR Skyline got disqualified from the session for parking in a dangerous location. Because he did not start the race. He was standing on the grid still. There was an incident. It's simply Superman, I think, dropping down the order. There are some guys dropping down. I don't know what's happening here. This is total chaos.
Dress is really wide.
Yeah, and that is Nathan running off the track and spinning around. Yeah, this is even more chaotic than last week, but I think most things should have settled in now. Tamo going side by side with Game Boys, and Game Boys, does he have some damage? I think so. Looks like it. He's running wide pretty much every corner. No, he does not have damage. It looked like it. Dressy running wide, but I mean, that would be too much of a surprise if he has that. He hasn't got damage. I'm surprised. I don't even know what the damage is here, but that's pretty weird how he did not get damage there.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, he's pulling into the pits, so I mean, that pretty much tells us that he has some kind of damage. But oh, Nathan spinning around again. Also trying to pit.
Yeah, disastrous for Relentless. It's the last thing that they needed. As Droppier and the Cohen are looking really good. Droppier's had a fantastic start.
And overall, I mean, Relentless and QVR are pretty much... I don't know if one of them actually won or lost the start. I mean, Kuhn and Droppier both had good starts, Game Boys and P9, but I mean, they have got one guy that got disqualified, so that's not a good thing for them.
No.
Certainly not a good thing, but I mean, Nathan, I mean, he's not disqualified, but he's basically down there, so he's not going to get too many points, which will also cost him, but overall, I mean, not quite sure. I think QVR should still be in a good position here for this race.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got some gaps appearing at the front, but we've got Simply Superman making his way up to IFR Noah, but IFR Noah is on these the medium compounds, which is really good for him being up and about up there. And, a few little trains forming now, one behind Car Mentalist.
Yeah, and the blue cars here battling for that 5th spot, then being followed by Passe. I mean, the cars just look great, honestly. I think the deliveries are pretty nice. I mean, that's what I love about those cars and all the teams designing cars. There's a yellow flag. I think that is, unsurprisingly, honestly, it's Nathan who did spin again in turn number 12, I think. 13 actually.
He's not normally this unreliable. I've raced with him in a different league, and he's very quick, very dangerous. So I don't know what's going on here with him. He's clearly having some issues.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard from some of the guys from some of the teams before the race that they did not practice a lot or did not practice at all. Simply Superman running wide there. I mean, it shows, honestly. I mean, reliable drivers and quick drivers like Nathan making mistakes like that all over qualifying and the race. I mean, you normally do not see that happening.
Yes, this is a big moment for the championship.
Ooh, Simply Superman nearly run into the pit wall. Really interesting. Drop in now, closing in on Stins and going down the inside, and we've got a QVR 2 and 3, which of course is great for them. Can Stinson make this comeback though? No, he will not. Knoof getting past Game Boys. I mean, actually Game was trying to stick it around the outside to keep it there. Interesting, going down the hill, but I think that might be the move done for Knoof, as he will have the better line now on the exit. No, actually not. Game Boy stays in 9th.
Had to back out, he felt, which is never ideal. And Game Boys needs to be a bit smart here, because he doesn't want to get spun. That point lost isn't going to be the end of the world, I don't think, to TTG. And they've got to worry about Wouter up front. But then again, they're in a good position with Cohen and Dropia.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, the other Relentless guys have to pick up the pace in some way. I mean, Commentalist and Passe in 7th and 8th. They need to get close. I mean, Commentalist starting on the medium, so that's a good thing for him. Also, Passe on the softs, and all the guys pretty much are in mediums now, except for a few guys. And I mean, Passe now coming into the pits, of course he had to make that stop at some point, making it early. Not getting a penalty, that's good for him. As Game Boys this time around, he's not gonna play the hard game on Knoof and let him get past. I mean, that definitely lost him some time as well. Nathan getting a penalty, I mean...
TTG Tamo getting past IFR Noah as well, slightly further up ahead. I'm surprised more people haven't. It's clearly a bit of a TTG strategy with this early stop, because Noisy and Superman have both done it, and then a couple of the IFR guys have done it as well, but I think that might be because of some damage. So I'd expect a few people in this lap, and then definitely not after lap 6 would be my suspicion.
Yeah, I mean, even if I was Wouter, I would pit early as possible to just make sure to stay in the lead, because I mean, he's got 2 seconds ahead of Kuhn right now, and I mean, if he waits and gets undercut, that might lose the Relentless all chance that they have right now. And I mean, the guys that are on the mediums, they definitely have to stay out, of course, but they will also need to come in later on. Stinson coming into the pits now. He's one of the guys, of course. He gets the 5-second penalty. That's not good for IFR in the fight for the 3rd position. And I mean, the TTG against IFR fight, of course, is pretty interesting as well. And they've got pretty much the same strategies here, and that's gonna be coming down to the wire, even though IFR currently got 2 guys down at the bottom, Milan and Dressy in P13 and 14, so not great for them.
It's a shame Stinson had that happen, because I was very interested to see what the undercut's going to be like to Dropia. We'll still get to see it, but I think he's going to undercut Dropia by quite a significant amount now.
And I mean, the Relentless boys, Jav, every one of them is gonna love it. And Game Boys goes for... he saved it. What a save here. He already dropped it before going into the corner, but in great fashion he saved it. But I mean, he is pretty much not gonna get QVR too many points, and Nathan if he can pick up the pace somehow and get closer, he might actually get there. And as I said, Wouter pulling it to the pits first, he does not want to get undercut, and both QVR guys, unsurprisingly, also go into the pits.
We now have...
Ooh, and oh no, that was a lag. I thought Wouter got help, but it only appeared like that on my screen, even though he was already going. I got scared for a second for Relentless, but that did not happen.
He's going to come out in clean air, but interestingly, Stinson does really, really undercut Dropia. Dropia was in those pits for a long time. He may have had damage because he was in there for a very long time. He's come out miles behind.
Yeah, he does come out right ahead of his teammate and behind a few other guys, and now Relentless Passe, he passed all of them. And he's now 9th position. So Relentless, if Mentalist can do a hell of a job at the end on the softs, that's gonna be really interesting, because now Relentless has got everything in their own hands, and that is, I think, Dropia. Dropia spun around.
Wow. So this is an interesting little battle at the back between Dropia and Nathan. I know Nathan's still some time behind, but it's worth it. Every position counts in these kind of team events.
Exactly, and I mean, for QVR, they were looking like they would even have the chance to pull away now from Relentless even more with the second and third place, but now Dropia, he is 4 seconds behind Gameboys, who is 4 seconds behind the other guys, so Relentless has got all chance to get closer here. And I mean, they're only 19 points behind, so any chance to get closer there.
I think this is going to the wire. I think it's going to the last race, and what I'm really intrigued by is these guys that haven't stopped yet, obviously on these mediums, they're going to be flying through the back of this field on those softs. So I don't know where they're going to get to. I don't know where they're going to come out necessarily. If we have a look at the leader gap, you know, they're actually, I mean, Datamo could potentially come out in about 7th here, and even if he doesn't, he's going to probably come out. Oh, the TCG noise is a big moment there. He's going to come out around Simply Superman, and I think Simply Superman's going to let him go because they're on the same team. So there's legs in this, and Gameboys and Dresser, Noisy, Milan, and anyone underneath are already over a pit stop behind, as Milan is having a nightmare out there, just flying on board with Noisy. And it's just seeming like quite a difficult task for him to keep the car pointing the right way, as this Simply Superman train is now getting quite deep.
It is, and just to check that after the race, because of course there's only one race remaining, of course. We don't know if there are going to be any penalties applied yet for any incidents like the one at the start. I mean, I've just pulled up as Passe now tries to go around the outside of Simply Superman. Runs off the track. That was pretty thoughtful. I mean, that move never could have happened, honestly. But he tries to get that place. Of course, he needs as many points as possible. But I've just pulled up the points sheet right next to my name, right on my screen next to me, just so we can do a little bit of math after the race. But we'll have to figure out where everyone comes home first, of course. And one thing, of course, Stinson and Simply Superman both have penalties, so that's gonna help the guys behind. And Nathan doesn't matter too much. Of course, he can still get closer because of mistakes and all that, but that's not gonna be... I don't think Nathan's gonna get more points than anything than the 1 point that he has right now.
Gameboys with another pair. It's just mistake after mistake, as we do get our first medium stopper now. Noah is going to come out. Really intrigued to see where he's going to come out. I think he's going to come out just ahead of Gameboys, is my suspicion.
It's going to be really close, and he is gonna... he's just going to come out right in front of him. He is going to come out ahead of them, and Passe right behind that around the outside once again. I mean, the fighting definitely cost him time. Passe running off the track again, and Milan, he will benefit from that, and he's trying to go around the outside of Simply Superman, and some touching going on there between them. But what a move from Milan. Also, Passe and Noisy going side by side up the hill. Ooh, this is getting close here. Battling, getting better and better.
They're trying to go too wide in places that you just can't go too wide in, and it's something's going to happen if it keeps happening.
Yeah, I mean, it's good that they all survived it, but I mean, IFR, they are looking really good now with all the things that have happened here. Jesse also trying to get past Game Boys in P13, so one more point would also help them a lot. I mean, TTG is currently right behind them, so not great for them being stuck there, but
I think it's going to be the Tamo that's going to really push on. I think he still will come out ahead of Noah. It's now just a question of what Knoof can do. He needs to get some good points here, because I think Simply Superman is going to... Well, this is the max he's going to get, I believe, is about this 9th place.
With the penalty, of course, he's going to drop back a few places, so... It's also crucial for Noisy to get past Passe in 10th place, because then he will still get that 9th place no matter what happens, depending on the penalty of Simply Superman, but it's gonna be really close, and you can tell Noah's approaching his teammate. I mean, Stinson is not gonna be in the way of Noah, you can already tell it, but Noah was, I think, the 4th or 3rd guy in that group before pitting.
Yeah.
Indeed, he was the 2nd guy before pitting. So he was about a second ahead of Carmentalist, so it's gonna be interesting to see where he will come out now. Knoof will be the next guy to come in, and I mean, basically, the top 2 guys have to come in this lap.
100%. Yeah, I think... I understand why they're going long, because the softs do deteriorate quite quick. But Noah is making them look very easy. Catching up to Stinson almost a second and a half.
And also got past Knoof, and that by a lot of time. Knoof only comes out in 9th place, also going side by side with Passe, and he drops behind him. Of course, he's got the better tires now. He's gonna overtake a few of them easily later on in the next couple of laps, as he does with Passe down the inside into turn number 2. But it's really... I don't understand why you're getting going longer, because you can tell Noah is just flying on those softs, and he's got a real chance at the win now.
He does.
Ooh, I think that was Stinson running off the track. Definitely lost some time there. That definitely did not help him.
I thought Simply Superman lost it, but he just let Knoof through. He's now going to be all over the back of Milan on those very, very warm medium tyres. They're going to be feeling quite under the collar, but yeah, we do get the leader's pit.
This is now getting really crucial to find out where they will come out. I mean, QVR, they were P2 and 3 for quite some time, and now they'll be further down the road. One guy, Kuhn in P2, but the other one's not even in the top 10. That's gonna hurt a lot, and now Mentalist is gonna drop back. Ooh, this is gonna be close, and that's Nathan spinning around again, and Passe down the inside. Simply Superman braking super late, but that leaves room for Passe. These guys have been battling for a few laps and now relentless. P9 and P10, P8 and P9, right out of TTG. I mean, Game Boys and Dropye are fighting right now for whatever reason. Don't think that helps the team a lot. Commental is already getting past Milan up into turn number 4. Dropye getting another penalty. I mean, just to quickly get back on that, Nathan had another few spins in the final 2 corners. You can tell he doesn't really like those. But
if I'm Jav, who is the leader of Relentless, and dare say he's going to be at this party, I'm just going to tell Nathan just to finish this race, get that point. Tamo up into 3rd on Stinson.
Ooh, and that's Milan. That's Milan in turn 11. Not sure what happened there. Might have been in a fight or somewhere, but he is in the wall, or he was close to the wall. Might have also just lost the car, but he drops down to P14. He's gonna get some places back because of penalties, but that's not gonna help him.
No, not at all. Not at all, and that helps. That helps QBR.
Oh, he goes into the pits for the fastest lap, I assume. Which, of course, would give IFR another point, but I'm not... Oh, there are no points given for fastest laps. Alright, yeah, so it doesn't really matter for him anyway, so he'll just go out for one final run. He'll battle with Nathan for the final point as Nathan comes out ahead, and I mean, that might actually save Nathan. I mean, the penalties, I mean, he's gonna drop back on penalties anyways. That's probably the one thing you have to mention there, but yeah, Jav saying he will finish, we never retire. I mean, that's the spirit. Unlike some other teams did last week. So
yeah, they just need to get that point. That point could be quite important when it's all said and done, because actually, look at the leaderboard. I mean, you would assume if TTG and IFR were probably doing very well as teams compared to the other two, but they're not. You know, this is a standout race for them, and this is going to be nip and tuck, and someone like Car Mentalist is going to bring home those points. It's really going to help tighten up the battle between the top two teams.
It really is. I'll quickly do the early math on the standings as of lap 15, just to quickly find out about the situation right now, because that's going to be interesting. Also looking down the road in the next few laps. 45, they do have... This question now, where are they? 12 and 13? That's 4 plus 3. That would mean they would currently gain, as of right now, 12. They would gain 17 points as of now. Nathan getting overtaken, so that means it's actually 17. But if Commentalist can get 1 or 2 places now, actually if he can get 1 place now, if he can overtake Knoof or get Stinson on the penalty, currently both teams at the top would be tied on points.
Wow, it's so tight. This is just, we can't discount Passe as well. Passe needs to keep it on track. There's more kind of pressure in a way for those two than probably anyone else on the grid, because they know that they're in a good position as it stands.
Definitely, and I mean, Stinson's penalty is really gonna help. And Droppier gets past Resi, that changes.
Oh no!
And no, it's Droppier!
He flung it up the inside, and it just didn't work, and it was risky.
And now Milan is gonna come closer again, might actually work out on penalties for him in the end, but that... I mean, it didn't really do much to their points at the moment. Game Boys gets another penalty. I mean, they cannot really lose that many points right now with any mistakes here, because they're 12th and 13th. They can only lose 1 or 2 points, but those points can be so crucial in the end, because, of course, Commentalist has got the chance right now to tie everything up or even take the lead here.
Yeah, he needs to work out a way past these guys. He's got plenty of battery. He doesn't need to start using it, I feel. Now is the time.
Now is the time, but Knoof also going for a move on Stinson. Late braking from Commentalist right behind that, and that's gonna be close. That leaves the room open for Commentalist. These guys are just going head to head. Knoof going down the inside, and Commentalist trying to go around the outside. Doesn't work. Everyone's saying where they were before. There was close battling, but now Commentalist should have an easy pass on Stinson some part of this next lap or next lap. And then, well, for the first time, the teams are going to be tied on points.
This is huge. This is absolutely huge. And he has so much more battery, except Knoof. Knoof is doing okay, but the other guys are struggling, and that's not giving away any secrets because their red lights are blinking. So Car Mentalist will know that.
He will know that, and he will make... Oh, he will not make the move on Stinson now. He wants that DRS. He doesn't want to give him a chance to come back here. And he doesn't want to risk anything with the penalty. He knows that. He can get past Stinson easily. He doesn't need to risk it all, but he's just hoping for Knoof and Noah to make a mistake here. Take each other out maybe, and also Stinson. But I mean, this time with DRS, it should be easy for him to cruise past him. Around the outside, also Knoof on the inside of Noah. And Commentalist, what a run down into turn 1. Noah not making any stupid defending moves on Commentalist. This means, for the moment, Relentless takes the lead of the QVR Invitational.
Dresser gets past Simply Superman, which is for their own internal battle, but it's been a good day for TTG, who are going to come home in 3rd and 4th, and I think they're going to improve up the leaderboard as well. Great drive from Tamo and Knoof in that reverse strategy.
Yeah, I think TTG should either be tied or also be ahead of IFR now, so many changes here in the penultimate race of QVR, of the QVR Invitational. And now, coming towards the line, Relentless Wouter coming over the line takes the victory here in Hungary in the 5th race of the QVR Invitational. QVR Kuhn Blai coming home in 2nd. TTG getting a podium with Tamo after struggling last week. Knoof in P4. Commentalist in P5. What a great drive from him. IFR coming home in 6 and 7. Ooh, noisy. That makes sure that he made sure that the team is coming home in that 3rd place in the championship right now. Now looking at the gaps here, I think nothing else should change.
Massive points for the Relentless guys. I think TTG as well. Really bringing everything up. It's going to be an absolute barnstormer, the last round of this brilliant event, and it's going to be tight. It's going to be close.
It definitely is. Knoof getting drive of the day, rightfully so. He did a great job, also making the moves and the strategy work. He did everything he needed to do today, and that really is a great thing. Now, looking at the results again. Wouter winning. Just quickly trying to check everything here to make sure I've done this right. Relentless gaining 50 points this round, and QVR is going to get... This is interesting because that really will make things interesting. They finished 12th and 13th. That is 4 plus 3. That means Relentless leads the championship by 2 points.
Wow. You've got to make them favourites. Game Boy's not driving. Not really a full-time driver. Not doing too well. Droppier, who's been a very historically a very good driver in F1 games, seems to be struggling with this one. And yeah, and if Nathan can put it together, you would have to favour the Relentless getting the win. But TTG versus IFR as well, that's going to go down to this race too.
Yeah, it definitely is. And I'm also going to quickly look at that, but I don't think that should be too much of a difference there, because they should have overtaken them now at this point in time, which I'll quickly try to figure out.
It's also worth mentioning that if one of me and you joined, we'd only need to get 2 points to beat FRL.
Yeah, let's do that. I'd say. Someone else in the stream wanted to join. I mean, if you can drive and you don't run into the wall on purpose, that might be one thing for you to do. not throwing any shade at anyone, but that's just what I needed to get off my chest here.
Well, this is going to be this is kind of what you need, isn't it? This is what you asked for. It's going to be a great finish. This is exactly what we want.
It definitely is, and yeah, I mean, the event has been great. It's been a real pleasure to be part of the commentating crew here. Of course, Tinken also in being involved, and he did the first race alone, then he did the second race for me, and now we ended up here together. So everyone also getting into the commentary box for once. That's also a great thing, I would say. But yeah, it's been some time since we both have commentated on a race, even though it
Yeah, it
doesn't feel
has.
like it.
Yeah, no, it has. Yeah, this has been good. Brazil's a fan favorite of mine. I do love Brazil. It's difficult for racing. That's what we want. We want that trains. We want that difficulty in passing. This is exactly what you want in a bit of a grandstand finish in a team event.
Definitely, I mean, Brazil also has provided us with some great action in real life when it came down to title deciding races. I mean, if you just want to look at 2012 as an example, 2007, 2008, title deciding races only deserve to be here, and personally, they should not be in Abu Dhabi in real life. I mean, it's probably. I probably am not the only guy that thinks that.
Oh no, you're certainly not. I mean, I'm old enough to think they should still be in Japan, but there we are.
Yeah, I mean, that would also be pretty interesting to see them doing that again. I mean, especially this year, Verstappen and Hamilton. Turn one.
Yes.
No,
Yeah,
depending on the points, that could also be interesting. I mean, seeing what they've done already this season, that could, and like 1990 did. I mean, who knows?
yeah. Can I just say, Simply Superman is doing very well here. He's up in the top three. It's not the usual. We've got Walter out in front, which is big, and Nathan is even poking his nose in a little bit as Ifar Milan has either, I think he must have crashed potentially, but Simply Superman is holding his own. This is a pad track. I know him to be quick here, and he is really doing well as QVR Skyline has come back from the dead.
And Wouter and Nathan at the top, and looking at the times, Kuhnblei has invalidated his lap, and QVR down in 11th, 12th, and 13th.
Wow.
And Tamo takes pole position right at the end. And QVR Skyline has invalidated. QVR has got everyone starting from the back of the grid. And just to mention, before I forget to say that, I also looked at the TTG against IFR standings, and by my calculations, IFR lost 23 points to TTG. So, TTG definitely looking like they can take their place today.
But the interesting thing is that Tamo is up in front with a great lap, but the rest of his team, other than Simply Superman, are kind of lagging behind a bit. Noisy's had a very bad run there.
I mean, I'm confused with this game, because when the qualifying ended, it said that Skyline finished 14th, but now he's back up in 4th. So QVR's qualifying did not go as bad as it looked like in the end, but still P10, P11, 12, and 13 for a team that's only down by 2 points to the current championship leaders. That's not good.
No, we've got a Funky Chicken in the chat who also is a big fan of Brazil, supporting his TTG teammates. Hopefully they can put on a bit of a show along with the other 12, but this will be... Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Skyline. His connection is...
Yeah. Someone else has also said that before. I think it was... I'm not quite sure who it was who said that. It was Jeff who said it before the race, who was talking about it, that the connection of Skyline was pretty bad. So, yeah, I mean...
It's going to be interesting because he's starting right behind.
Yeah, Jeff, I mean, this game, you know, the glitches are pretty common, I'd say. I mean, you never know when something is happening. So...
They can strike at any moment, it feels like. We're just waiting for the...
Game Boys has left the session.
Let me invite him. I have the displeasure of being his friend.
That definitely helps.
Do I? I'm not sure I do.
I think I should have him though, so that should not be a problem if you cannot find him. I definitely have him.
I do, but I think I'm misspelling his name. QVR Game Boys.
FC Game Boys. He's got the FC Game Boys there.
There we go. Oh, I can't invite him because he's joined. That's really handy.
and QleenVigor and Noise were disqualified, so they will have to start from the grid with cold tires. And I mean, with all of the things going on, I think QVR is in a pretty bad spot right now. I mean, Jeff also saying once again, not QleenVigor, Skyline is lagging.
Oh, I'm just right on board with Simply Superman, who's quite a long way behind. I wonder if maybe that's why he's staying a long way behind.
That might be the reason. But also the guys at the back are staying pretty far behind, honestly. And yeah, Game Boys is ghosting. Oh boy, I don't. Oh, Game Boys has just joined right at the start. That's perfect.
He's back. Let's hope he can jump in his car
Before the race starts. Yeah, that's gonna be. That is going to be crucial for him. But I mean, maybe if he doesn't start, that might actually be a blessing for him to just avoid all the chaos going into turn 1 and 2.
Which there will be some, you can almost guarantee it.
Oh yeah, he's just lagging around also right now. But now for the final time.
Hopefully.
For the final time, we're not getting any lights. I mean, it might actually be the better thing for the lobby to be restarted, I'd say, with all the lags that have been going on here. I'm not quite sure yeah. I think there might be a lobby reset that's needed.
I think you might be right. I think it might be because Game Boys joins.
Yeah, Stinson is saying it's QleenVigor and Game Boys. I'm not sure. They're both loading for them, so it has to be them.
It does. It does. I don't think they're going to be too keen to leave the session though. I think that they'll want to see this race off.
Yeah, I mean, you can even see the one marshal in the back waving the green flag. That's pretty. Ooh, and migrating host and the game has crashed. Yeah, my game I just got a game error. It's not even loading, it's stuck on 72%. Hello, I cannot even do anything. My whole console is fucked. Yeah. Alright, I'll quickly restart my console. It's possible in some way. Yeah, see you in a second.